y'all, what's up? So I have a question. If someone can answer me in the comment section, that would be awesome, and I really appreciate it, and thank you whoever answers me ahead of time. So I seen that my video from last night got like over 500 views, and usually when I talk about Gypsy Blanchard, I maybe get 19, 30 views. So I'm just wondering, this is the question, I'm wondering, did someone play my video on their channel to, because I got a lot of views on there. To me, it's a lot, you know. To some of y'all, it's nothing, you know, but I was just shocked to see that. Okay, so the things that I said last night, I just want to make it clear that I don't hate Neener. I don't hate Neener. I don't hate Nita the Neener. But I just think that a year ago, she lied, in my opinion. Like, she didn't show no receipts, nothing. Nothing at all. And, so, and they were together. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying they've never split up. I'm sure they've had their little quarrels, because I heard actually Gypsy stabbed the shit out of Kenny Boy's headboard to his bed. I heard that she took a knife to that son of a bitch and started stabbing it like it was her mama, okay? And that's like no joke. I heard that shit. Now, is it true? I don't know. I'm just saying it. That's what I heard. But anyways, so yeah, I don't hate Nina. I don't know her. I just know that what she is capable of on here. She always says she has this source, but that source always makes her look dumb. Like, I just don't understand why she hasn't caught on. And, you know, I remember that time Kenny Boy set her ass down. Like he said, you're pissed because I'm sitting your ass down. And he was like, and Gypsy owns you in your head. But then she started changing up, talking about Diddy. Anyways, the point of it is I don't hate her. I just think that she will stretch its truth to make a bag on YouTube. Because as I hear it, Gypsy supposedly got her fired from her normal job in the real world, and Bree did too. Now, that's what I heard. That's what she said. But again, I didn't see receipts, so I don't know. Do I put it past Gypsy and Bree doing that? Hell no. I don't put it past them. That's something they would probably do because they're not getting their way. They're not hearing what they want to hear. Gypsy wants to look like a sweet little girl, like she hasn't done anything wrong, and she's got abused by her mother. No. Gypsy was an out-of-control teenager, and she was an out-of-control 20-year-old, 20s, and she took it way further than any teenager or young 20-year-old would take it. And I also, my opinion is that she killed her mom, and Nick got on top of a corpse and he was stabbing it, because his story has never changed. And by the way, to the people that believe that Lifetime was there filming her delivery and all that bullshit, no, they weren't. They were not there. She made sure they weren't there for a damn good reason, because she was never there. It's just all a lie. All of it. Now, some things, I don't know how she pulled off. Some things, I'm like, oh, that's AI probably. Especially these new pictures that come out. Aurora. I'll say it like dumbass morbid. Aurora. Come out with this 1-year-old pictures, and this fucking youngin' is in front of a 1-year-old, a cake with a 1. And if that isn't a fake baby, then I don't know what the F that is. I'm sorry, if y'all can't catch on, then I don't know what to tell y'all, because this girl is pulling a stunt, okay? A stunt. And this is also why I know she doesn't have a child. One, she can't even verify it on Wikipedia. She tried, and Wikipedia said, not today, sister, because it's not true. Wikipedia has to have proof, evidence. They verify. She can't verify it. She can't, because there's no child. And in the divorce papers and all that shit, there's no mention of a child, y'all. Nothing. She walked in that courtroom with whatever underneath her shirt, and she walked out, and there was nothing there. Now, is that someone pulling a stunt? Who knows? I don't know. But I know this. She doesn't have a child with Kenny Boy. Kenny Boy is there. He was there to use that thing for the money. And Ken has always had some type of drug addiction in his life. Not saying that he's a horrible person because of it. You know, we've all gone through things in our life. I mean, but I think Ken has had a really big problem supporting himself throughout the years. And I think when he got on Lifetime and made him a little bit of money himself, I think that, you know, he was good. He's still pretty good. But he's still going to use Gypsy until it's dried up. She's a con artist. She's a scammer. And also, too, I just want to say, yes, it would be nice if mainstream media would pick it up. But, man, those damn reporters, those journalists, they're lazy as hell. I mean, these damn YouTube women and some men, y'all have done such a good job doing your research and your journaling and your journalism, even though you don't have a degree or anything. You don't have to have a fucking degree for journalism, and if you do, wow, that's kind of crazy. Anybody can research, anybody can find out shit. I mean, come on now. I mean, Becca Scoops did it, boy. And even Fancy. Fancy's the one that brought it out to the table and let everybody have a grab for it. And that was cool as hell for Fancy to do that, because she didn't have to do that. She could have kept all that shit to herself. And I actually think Fancy's alright. I mean, I don't know her to say I like her or dislike her, but she's actually alright. You know, does she act a little obnoxious? Not really, not to me. I think she's funny, actually. Hold on, please. Alright, y'all. Sorry, I had to deposit some moolah in my bank. But, anyways, yeah, she's just a liar. Gypsy's a liar. Ken's a liar. They're just fucking liars, dude. I mean, I don't know what else to... I don't know how to really put it towards anyone anymore. She's just a fucking liar. They all are. They're all liars, dude. All of them. They know what they're pulling. Gypsy especially. My thing is this, though. Why is Rod and Krusty Bucket following Gypsy? They're the parents. They're older and wiser. They're supposed to be anyways. Why aren't they, like, correcting her dumb ass? You know, because she come out and she knew what she was going to do. She used Ryan because he looked good on paper. Okay? She knew what she was going to do because she was talking to Ken the whole time. The whole time. And, okay, I'm willing to be open-minded and say, okay, let's say she did have a baby. How come the dates aren't adding up either? That should be Ryan's child, not Ken's. But hey, whatever. I mean, hell, they think they're so smart with these fucking dates. None of it makes any sense. But anyways, I just know the girl ain't got no baby. That's Dylan and Anita's baby. People know what Anita looks like. They do know what she looks like. They've seen her on Dylan's or her Facebook somewhere. They're not big on social media. And there's a reason why. Because whatever Gypsy's making off that baby, they're making half of that shit, okay? That's my opinion. That's how I feel about it. I've always felt like something was off. I've always said she didn't have a baby, and her pregnancy was the weirdest shit ever. Now, did I second guess myself a couple times? Yeah. Sure, I think a lot of us did. But in reality, you know, you go with your instincts. I was always taught that. You go with your instincts. Or like, you know, when you're taking a test, my instructor said, you know, when you're taking a test and you're on your answer and you're reading it, and your first instinct is this one answer, but you end up going to another answer, but that first instinct was right always. You should go by it. So, you know, I've messed up like that where I don't trust my instincts, my feelings, and I'll go with a different answer, you know? It just... So I'm going with my first instincts. The girl does not have a baby. As I heard it, she lost a baby with Ken. And, you know, if she would have just been honest about losing a child, it would have been one thing. But she's not honest. She doesn't know how to be honest. Gypsy has more issues mentally than the average fucking Joe, you know? She's got a lot of mental health issues that Lexapro or whatever she's on is not gonna do it. It's not gonna do it. I truly think she should be in a fucking, you know, a mental hospital. I think she should be there for a while. You know, there's this guy up in New York, and I seen this a long time ago, and I still look it up, and I've watched it 2 or 3 times. He was schizophrenic, though, really bad, and his mom was a nurse. And anyways, his mom was trying to find out, and his dad was, what's going on with my son, what's going on with my son. But anyways, one day, you know, everybody left, and she was home with her son, and he ended up killing her. And they didn't lock him up in prison, but they locked him up in a mental institution in New York somewhere. And he stayed there for 15-something years. And he didn't want to get out at first. He was like, no, you know. But he finally did, and he lived with a roommate. And I wonder about him sometimes, how he's doing. But he had he has schizophrenia. He was mentally messed up, okay? I have stories for y'all. I did, you know, 7 years in prison. That does not define who I am, but I met girls like that, like Gypsy in there. And where one girl killed her mom with her boyfriend. And she got life in prison. And he got life. But anyways, something changed in my state. If you were younger than 18, I think she was 16 or 17 when it happened, they overturned it, and it was retro, where it was retroactive, where it went back. It didn't matter like what year, it went way back. And she got 20 years, and I did 7, and I think she had 7 more years ago when I got there. So she left probably a few months before I did. I see her on Facebook, and I'm thinking, you're an evil bitch. I lived in a quad with her. That's what they called it in prison, a quad. And there was like 34 women to one quad, to one room with lockers and bunk beds and shit. But anyways, I couldn't stand her. She was fucking evil, a liar, cunning, manipulative, a follower. That was her home, you know? I mean, she thought she had life for, many years. And I think she found out, she had 5 more years ago when she found out, or maybe 7 years ago. I don't know, but she found out, and let me tell you, she got real ballsy. Then I was pretty good friends. Well, I don't want to say friends, because you really don't have friends in prison. I don't care what anyone says. You go in there by yourself, you leave by yourself. I mean, people that carry on a relationship after prison, whatever. Now, I do have some girls that are on my Facebook from the prison I was at, and we did some time together, but we bonded like in classes, cosmetology school, GED class. Like, we had some type of bonding because we took classes together. And I liked them, but I didn't consider them like my best of friend or anything. Just acquaintance. I knew that I was going to be acquaintance with them when I got out anyways. We didn't live in the same city, the same county. Anyways, I was pretty good friends with this one girl, I guess you would say. I mean, we were buddies, whatever. And, not really friends, but her brother ended up killing her dad. And her dad was very abusive to the brother and the mother, but he wasn't abusive to his daughter, her. And anyways, the brother ended up killing him, and they put him in the freezer in the basement. They decapitated him and put his body and head in the freezer. And he was the only one that worked in the house, so when the bills stopped being paid, the lights went out, everything, and then the next door neighbor noticed a horrible smell, and you know how that goes, and they eventually found him, and they were all the way near me where I live. And the girl told me, I was with my other grandparents, so I didn't even really know them. It was a mess. But anyways, they got caught. Her brother got 20 years. Her mother got 30. And she got 6 years because she didn't tell on him. She didn't kill her dad. She wasn't there. But when she got home from staying the night with a friend and come home, they had to tell her. And she gave me an example how her dad was mean to her brother. She said that her brother had some academic issues, and they would be driving down the interstate or the highway, freeway, those signs that are digital and they light up and they say, hey, highway closed, whatever. He would be like, what does that say, son? What does that say? And he would say, how do you spell it? And if he didn't spell it fast enough, he would beat him in the floorboard. Okay, so I believe her brother had about enough of that. But anyways, he was abusive. And, that doesn't give you a right to kill your mom or your dad. The woman, the mother had a lot of mental issues. She told me my mom had a lot of mental issues. Like, he would kick her out in the snow. And they weren't married. They were just boyfriend and girlfriend. They had 2 kids together. And they raised them until they were in their teens. And all that shit happened. But I did all my time with her just about. But I'm not saying like I'm better than anyone. I don't think that. It's just I've been around females like Gypsy. But I gotta say, the one girl that got life and then they overturned it to 20 years or whatever, she was. I'm so surprised she got out. I'm still shocked. When I see her on Facebook, like when I'm looking at people I know or I don't know, they'll pop up, these people, oh yeah, I know them or I don't know, whatever. I see her and I'm like, oh my God, has she killed again yet? Oh God, this girl was evil. She was a pathological liar, So, now the other girl, no, I don't worry about her. She did 6 years. She was scared. She didn't want to tell, that was the only family she had. She didn't really know her grandparents from either side. And when she was with her grandparents, all that shit happened. Her mom's parents, she was nervous. She didn't really know them like that. And they didn't really accept her because her daddy was black. So her side, her mama's side was racist, It was just sad. All of it was sad. But anyways, Gypsy's cunning, conniving. She's not all there, and people think she is. Some people, they're the idiots. She's not all there, y'all. But if those pictures, if you can't see through those pictures today, I don't know what to tell y'all. I have my own opinion about things, and I wouldn't care if you thought I was an idiot. I've been called that in the comments. I don't care. It's how I feel. It's not how you feel. It's how I feel and what I think. And no, I think she's lying. I don't think she has a child. I think it's all bullshit. And about Nina, she will lie. Point blank, period. That's it, But anyways, I've had a nice time talking to y'all, and I hope y'all have a good night.